Atiku don't talk, say it dey very, very wrong for Muslim ticket. This one I waiting talk. Atiku said adopting Muslim ticket for heterogeneous nation like Nigeria is wrong. We are multi-ethnic and multi-religious, and our government should reflect our diversity and our composition. Which means that president and vice president no fit be Muslim at all. On this note, former President Atiku Abubakar thank late Gani Fawayemi say na him start this fight wey be say people not join am. He said that time this man fight this Tinubu fight na froster na he be. He said but inside the katakata na the man die and nobody believe am until today wey be say everything come dey open to the whole world make dem see. This one na wetin in talk. The late human rights activist Gani Fawayemi inspired me to finish the unfinished legal battle he had against Bola Tinubu and has vindicated us. Now he can truly rest in peace, knowing that the journey he started 23 years ago is on course. Every mystery has its end. Atiku come further talk say after the 2023 election, say Tinubu come send people, make they come see am for house, make they come beg am, make him align with his own government, Tinubu government. He say, but he not let them enter a house, and so he take drive them come for your house. So the press come ask Atiku say, okay, if by tomorrow they come beg you, say, I beg now, make you forget, make you let the dog wait don't die, make they bury him peacefully. I beg, you go agree? Atiku come put him mouth talk. So you see that dog we don't die so until they judge the case, they not go bury him. He say it is only when the court rules that he is right that I will drop this case. In other words, I will drop this fight when the court rules, because there is no court higher than the Supreme Court. He say, they let anything live. He say even government don't carry the thing we be say into the chop. The company where he gets, they don't scrape everything during Buhari time. He says, so you not get anything to lose for the hand. He says, so you not get anything to fear. My country people, this matter will look so Tinubu forgery certificate, not believe that matter did this matter, or me, I believe say another matter they will not know. And I think say na beef we can't turn to momo, na be this one. When I see this case, Atiku in one see the end. They say there is no need flogging the dead horse. But for this Atiku case, in saying go flog the dead horse, give her a mark. In case if he reincarnates, if you see that mark for a body, he go remember when he fake con life. So that's the way he do, he no go do him again.
We're talking of a man who has a penchant for lying and forgery. He didn't start today. You remember that when he wanted to be governor of Lagos State in 1998, it's the same set of lies, issues of lies. And at that time, when Chief Gani Fawayemi of blessed memory, may so rest in peace. And now, I think with what Atiku has done, he can truly rest in peace. When he took him to court, at that point, Tokunbo Afikuyomi, who had nothing to do with the certificate, had to be made the fall guy. And I think that even affected his political career, because he was a blossoming young man at that time who was growing politically. He had the clout, he had the friends, he had the political strength and everything. And he had the sagacity. Unfortunately, they tied into that certificate scandal, and he had to be made the fall guy at that time. Nothing has changed about Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The issue is simple. Atiku did not go to the U.S. court to search whether he went to the University of Chicago or not. After all, he didn't send him to university. We have no business with whether he went to the University of Chicago State University or not. That's not the issue. The issue is we are aware that he did not acquire a degree. And what is submitted to INEC was forged, fake. You understand? And he must have gotten it from Oluwole, somewhere in Oluwole. And thank God, coincidentally, one of his lawyers who represented him in Chicago, at the court in Chicago, his name is Oluwole. So interesting. The issue is, even if you went to Chicago State University, either somebody can attend the university and maybe to go there to sell either going and aggregate bread, or you could sell corn and beans. That's his business. We are saying that, look, you do not possess a certificate. And that position has been validated during deposition at in the courts in the United States of America. Under oath, the registrar of the university, under oath, you need to underline that, under oath, admitted that, look, the document is submitted to INEC. It's not their document. They didn't authorize it. Now he was asked again, he was further probed. Okay, what of the document, the certificate you gave to now Esquire, a lawyer to Atiku Abubakar under subpoena in 2022? And they said yes, that certificate existed in their file. And they now ask, do you keep records of anyone's certificates in maybe photocopies or other copies? And the school said no. The only record we keep are records of uncollected certificates, uncollected diplomas. So it means that the owner of that certificate did not collect his certificate. That is number one. So if the owner, whose name is Bola A. Tinubu, did not collect his certificate, where did Bola Ahmed Tinubu or Bola Adekunle Tinubu get his own certificate from? The answer is clear and unambiguous. So
is this implying, Mr. Shaibu, is this implying, or alleging that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is different from Bola A. Tinubu that, the Chicago State University agrees attended their institution?
Of course, the FBI are going to do their job on Chicago State University, because even the transcript from the college, the high school he claimed to have attended, which they claimed the Bola Tinubu submitted to the university. The university didn't do what they call a KYS. They didn't do the thorough job, to check the veracity of the claims by the student. It has what we call sex, it's female. He claimed he attended Government College, Lagos. Don't forget, too, that when Gani took him up in 1998, 1999, when he became governor in 1999 of Lagos State, he claimed at that time that he attended Government College Ibadan. Now, when Government College Ibadan denounced him, denied him, and told him, no, you were not our student, you have never been to this school, he retracted. And that is why we are not surprised, too, that while filling out his forms for the presidential election, he left the place for primary school, nil, secondary school, nil. That's high school. In America, it's called the high school. Now, this time around, he used the certificate, a purported transcript from Southwest College. And the transcript says, Bola A. Tinubu. What is letter A? Don't even forget, too, that we are Nigerians. I lived in Lagos all my life. Let me give you a classical example. My daughter's first name is Peniela. Her middle name is E, which is Eleojo, and it means gift from God. My name is Frank, and I spell it with a PH, which is P, and my middle name is Eleojo, and my surname is Shaibu, my daughter's name is Shaibu. My daughter is in a university in America today, not even by chance. You understand me? And the question is, so assuming but not considering that she is P.E. Shaibu, and I'm P.E. Shaibu, I will just, as a university, because you just see P.E. Shaibu, you believe it must be Frank Shaibu? The answer is no. You must do your check. You must do your test. Now, the university could not even ascertain under cross-examination what the A, which is the middle name of, which your president calls Ahmed, what the A represents. Now, that result, purported result used in gaining entrance to the university, in the first place, shows that the sex is female. Not a problem. We didn't go for that. That was not what we didn't go on Fantasy Island. That's not what we were looking for. We knew what we were looking for. What we were looking for is the fact that did you issue in the certificate that is submitted to INEC? The answer is no. If the answer is no, which they gave to us under cross-examination, what it means is that where did he get it from? Only, of course. He claimed he went to Government College, Lagos. In his form, the form that was given to us by the university, the Chicago State University. Now, a man says he went to Government College, Lagos, and graduated in 1970. The same man did not know that, look, I am a teacher. I am a teacher and a school owner. In the first place, let me tell you something. He submitted an A-level certificate from Cambridge. Before you can do Cambridge A-level, you must have finished high school, minimum of 2 years. So if he said he graduated from Government College Lagos in 1970. And his Cambridge A-level certificate is in 1970 as well. That on its own is a misnomer. It is mysterious. It is practically impossible for you to finish high school, that is secondary school in Nigeria, which is either grade from 5 at that time, because they spent 5 years at that time. Not now when we now spend 6 years, when kids now spend 6 years in school. Now, if you spend 5 years in college, that is in secondary school at that time, and finished in 1990, it is practically impossible for him to write the A-level Cambridge in the same year. Not possible. Don't forget too that Government College Lagos was not established until 1974. How can a man graduate before his school was established? Is it Jesus?
All right.
What kind of thing is that? It is reprehensible. And when I see people, same Nigerians, because of pecuniary benefit, go on television to defend this kind of malodorous, embarrassment we are getting all over the world. No, sir. It is not. I'm not the one saying he is a forger. He is a perennial forger, persistent, habitual. He did it before. Before now, he even said he had a BSc economics from the University of Chicago. That was when he was applying to be governor of Lagos State. Then he went further to say he now has another degree in business administration from the University of Chicago.
All right.
We are not bothered. Atiku didn't send him to school. So Atiku is not bothered about whether he attended the University of Chicago or not. Our case is this. It is an affront on our sensibilities as a people and a violation of what the Constitution provides. Anyone who forges a certificate in the process of aspiring for the highest office in the land should be removed.
All right, Mr. Shaibu.
He is not qualified to be president.
Mr. Shaibu, you've made very strong, statements explaining what you think might have been the situation, and I'd like you to react to.
It is not what I think. You have seen this. You have seen the documents. The documents are in public space.
Yes. All right.
The university released those documents. You saw the documents. In one of the documents, you can put it up. You have the documents. You understand? News Central is a non-biased station. This is the first time I'm coming on your channel. But I've been watching your channel, and I know that your reportage is non-biased. It's not influenced by anyone. So the issue is this. I want you to query those documents. A man said he attended Government College Lagos and graduated in 1970 and produced a result and filled a form while aspiring to go to the university, while applying to attend the Chicago State University. They produced his application form. You saw the application form in 1976, and he said he finished from Government College Lagos. So do you now need a witch doctor to tell you that the school, if you a simple Google search, will tell you that that school was not established until 1974.
Mr. Shaibu, let's talk about something that our guest said. Yesterday we had Mr. Osita Okechukwu join us on the show to have this same conversation. Of course, he's one of the founding members of the All Progressives Congress. And when we asked him this question as to what exactly is going on with the president's certificate from Chicago State University, he said, and I quote, I don't want to quote, but he said something in the lines of, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has no moral high ground to bring this conversation up now. He went further to state that if Alhaji Atiku Abubakar had this information all along, why is he only bringing this up now, and saying that we should allow the president, if we're not pleased with the president's administration or whatever it is, if we have concerns, we should allow him finish his time in office, and then after the 4 years, we can vote someone else. And I'd like you to react to that.
So to not, trample or truncate our democracy.
Our democracy.
That's what he said.
But also making reference to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar not having the moral high ground for this, to bring this up.
You see, these are deflections you get from serial liars and perennial certificate forgers. You cannot talk about moral. What is moral ground? What is morality? Morality is when a man says, look, this man who is president of Nigeria, who they selected as president of Nigeria, is a serial forger, and I will prove that. And you put everything, you stake everything, including your life, put it at risk resources, painfully limited resources, after electioneering, to say, look, let me pursue this to a logical conclusion. And it's not about me. It's about children yet unborn. We don't want to have a president who will be a pawn in the political chessboard of world politics. How can we have a chairman of economic committee of ECOWAS countries who is a certificate forger? How would you feel if you were president of maybe United States of America, and right in front of you talking about cooperation between America and Nigeria, and sitting right in front of you is a known certificate forger? How would you feel if you have the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom having a Bod Tv in front of him who is a certificate forger? How would you feel? These are the issues. You see, it is about only yesterday, one of the reports was brought to fore, where about 18 Nigerian nurses going to jail in the United States of America, particularly in the state of Texas, for certificate forgery. The other days was Midsummer, and they were calling for her head, including the leadership of the APC. That little girl, they were calling for her head, claiming, oh, she forged this. Of course, we knew she did that. So what is sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. Bola Tinubu cannot be left to finish. What time does he want to finish? What moral ground does he want to even finish a term? What term? He should do the honorable thing. Salisu Buhari resigned honorably. So what is morality here?
Okay, well,
who comes to equity must come with clean hands. Atiku Abubakar, if you feel it's just like a man who caught his wife with another man. The moment the woman begins to tell you, honey, but I saw you that day with one girl. Did I say anything to you? Know that she's a serial liar. Know that she's making a confession. That is a deflection. You cannot distract Nigerians. You can't deflect this. He has been caught. They have been lying through this. For 23 years, we have been on this. For 23 years, he has covered this. If he had remained quietly in his Lagos, where he has been a lord of the manor, where he was governor, and he has been governor for 23 years, bringing midgets and errand boys and placing them in office, nobody would have even continued in this manner. Of course, Atiku Abubakar would still have raised it. In 2015, President Goodluck Jonathan filed a case against President Goodluck Jonathan's government, filed a case against him. That document is public document. And when he knew he was going to go to jail, you know what he did? He capitulated, withdrew his support for his party, and supported Jonathan. We know this. The documents are public documents. I give you the privilege to go and access those documents.
All right, Mr. Shaibu.
Why was that case withdrawn from courts?
Mr. Shaibu, I also want to ask, going forward, while of course we continue to go back and forth, with these conversations concerning the certificates presented to INEC. There's also arguments that the PDP's case heading to the Supreme Court may not hold a lot of water because the PDP didn't add any of this to its to the cases that it's pleading at the Supreme Court, and so the Supreme Court, of course, doesn't have to work with the emotions that are, going across the country now. It's going to work with the legality of what is presented before it. So quickly respond to that. And what are your expectations?
My response is clear. Illiteracy is a misfortune and should never be taken as a privilege. The law is clear. Nobody can stand the law on his head. No amount of use of immoral power will stop what is happening today. The law is clear. The Supreme Court can admit evidence. New evidence. It's been tested. It has happened multiple times. Not just in Nigeria, but outside Nigeria. Our law makes provisions for that. So they cannot be a judge in their own case. The man is a certificate forger. A serial one for that matter. It's been on, and we give glory to God for the life of Atiku Abubakar. And I'm excited to be alive to see this day, that at least this man has been stripped naked and we can see the fouls wrong.
Do you have confidence in the Supreme Court judges to be able to upturn the decision of the status quo currently, to upturn it in favor of your principle?
It is not about having confidence in the Supreme Court. It is about the justices of the Supreme Court believing in Nigeria, and knowing that, you see, the challenge is this, even you sitting in the studio there, the moment, God forbid, you say, look, you don't want to work in New Central tomorrow and you want to head to any part of the world, they will not just use touch, they will use microscopic and telescopic apparatus to check your certificates because your president is a certificate forger. That is the issue. That is the issue. You see, the Supreme Court justices know, and they know for sure. How do you sit down and call yourself a judge or a justice of the Supreme Court? So pretending over election petition, and you have clear evidence that the man who was selected by the Independent National Electoral Commission as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is not just a certificate forger. Under oath, they know the implication. Under oath, the university admitted in clear and unambiguous terms that that document is submitted to INEC is not their document. They don't know where he got it from. And that the certificate belonging to the Bola A. Tinubu that they know is in their file. Even though the university went further to say that they don't even know the meaning of the A. We remember that even this NYSC discharge certificate is submitted to INEC. The name we found there is Adekunle. Now let me ask you, can you go for NYSC without the university you attended forwarding your details to the body, to the National Youth Service Corps? It's not possible. So it is the records that is transmitted from your school to NYSC. That is what NYSC is going to. That's what NYSC is going to use and document you with. So if Bola Ahmed Tinubu says his name is Bola Ahmed Tinubu, how come his NYSC discharge certificate is Bola Tinubu Adekunle?
All right.
The mystery continues. The mystery continues. This is a man from Iragbiji. Either Iragbiji is a product of GBT. I don't know. You understand? But I'm not a Yoruba man. But the name Bola is not a suffix that can, a suffix or a prefix that can stand alone in the Yoruba lexicography. Bola Ige, his full name was Ajibola. Bolanle, Omo Bolanle, Bolarinwa. What is this Bola? Is this Bola Joko? Are you with me? Or yes. Bola Loko. So what is his own Bola? How come he's the only Yoruba man living on earth whose name is either a prefix or a suffix? Where is the main name? The Yoruba lexicography.
Mr. Tribal,
we have never seen anyone. So everything about him is a mystery. And he should just quietly, honorably, go back to his Lagos, where he is the Lord of the man.
Yeah. So what you might be implying, Mr. Shaibu, what you might be implying is that there is more to this story than, you know, what we're currently seeing or what is currently being unraveled. You know, and
implying. I'm saying that the world, including you sitting in the studio there, should congratulate Atiku Abubakar for a job well done. But this is just the beginning, because so many other young people, journalists, are going to go. Don't forget to, you know, this October is the sweetest October ever. October, you know, remember that October 1, we woke up to the release, to the judgment by the court. This is a man who went on blocking every process in the United States court to stop the release of the document. His lawyers even pleaded in one of their documents and orally that it will cause irreparable damage if the documents of this man called Bola Loko Ahmed Tinubu is released to Atiku Abubakar. Irreparable damage. And what is irreparable damage? The irreparable damage is now clear to Nigerians. The first one is that in the first place, when it was released, we saw what they meant by irreparable damage. Was that one, he attended a government college in Ibadan, Lagos, and graduated from the school even before the school was established. That is irreparable damage. Very correct. The lawyers were very truthful. You know, American lawyers, they don't tell lies. Even their justice system, in their judges don't lie, because they know what it is to lie on that oath. The lawyers in America told the court that it will cost the man, Bola Tinubu, irreparable damage if they release his documents. We have seen the irreparable damage. We have known that he went to a school spiritually, graduated from the school even before the school was established. He's not a wonder man, he's a magician. The other day I read his wife saying, my husband is not a magician. Who told her? He doesn't even know his husband, her husband. Her husband is a magician. A man who can graduate from a school before the school was established. Is he not more than a magician?
All right.
I'm implying the documents are before you. Interrogate those documents.
All right, Mr. Shaibu, would like you to also please share with us the likelihood of a press address happening today. We did hear reports about Alhaji Atiku Abubakar addressing the media today. I don't know if you can confirm that for us.
I want to authoritatively tell you that he will be thanking Nigerians for their support and resilience. And more, there is more to come. This same October, the FBI is going to release 2,500 files on your Bola Tinubu. You understand me? And we are waiting and we pray to be alive to see what they will unravel. There's more to come on this mysterious man, mysterious magician who can attend the school without and graduate before his school is established.
All right, Mr. Shaibu, I would also like to ask what you make of the responses that the All Progressives Congress have been given when being asked about the certificate. What we do see is more than once in a number of interviews, they would oftentimes try to, in some way, maybe not answer the question directly, but then say that we should focus on not overheating the polity. We had that with Mr. Okechukwu Osita yesterday. In another interview, the Minister of Foreign Affairs did allude to something similar as well. So what would you make of these responses, and how do you maybe foresee that the APC is going to handle this going forward?
Not under any illusion that they were going to surrender easily. We're talking of the people who came to power by telling lies. These are serial liars. You remember that a fortnight ago, I issued a statement where I unearthed 10 big lies by the Tinubu administration. 10. It was just a summary. 10. There are more to come. They live on lies. You see, they say if the head is rotten, what do you expect of the body? The man who is leading them, who is their national leader, is a certified serial certificate forger. So what do you expect them to do? These are people, you are talking about Osita Okechukwu. These are people who live on pecuniary benefits. That's their driving force. They don't believe in Nigeria. They keep lying. These people told us that, oh, the president is the only president in Africa who has been selected to meet on the sidelines with President Joe Biden in America during hunger. It didn't happen. When it didn't happen, they told us, oh, why would President Biden meet with Tinubu? After all, they met in India during the G20 meeting. I said, this is illiteracy. G20, a 2-minute meet and greet. They did meet and greet. Just greeting. Joe Biden was passing by, and your brother Tinubu went to ambush him and did a photo of them. You said you call that a meeting? A meeting, you issued a press statement to advertise. They now later explained that President Biden had other engagements. Now, President Biden had engagements, and the engagement was bigger, more important than the president of the most populous black nation in Africa or in the world. Oh, come on. Can you spare me those rantings? These guys, they won't stop lying. In the coming days, you will see them trying to turn the truth, on its head. But Nigerians, our plea is that Nigerians should be resilient. They should be careful so that they can deduct and separate the wheat from the chaff. Liars will be liars. These people are not here for Nigeria. They are not here in the interest of Nigerians. A man who claimed to remove subsidy and is still paying subsidy. Till today, they keep denying that they're not paying subsidy. They're making subsidy payments. They're made in August. The Federal Allocation and Appropriation Account documents is there in the public domain. They're paying subsidy. They're liars.
Well, once again, I just want, your response once again, and I did bring this up before, and that with regards to the Supreme Court. You've said, of course, you cannot turn the Constitution on its head. Fair enough. But we've seen, in the build-up to, this week, cases from the Elections Tribunal that have been shocking, to Nigerians, the decisions that the courts have taken. We've also seen, even in Enugu State, I should also mention, the PDP governor there was accused of also forging his NYSC certificate. But of course, the courts ruled in his favor. So what happens, with, this case, if the Supreme Court goes ahead to, rule in favor of the president? What would that imply for Nigeria's democracy? And of course, would we accept, would the PDP accept that Supreme Court, of course, has had its say and there's nothing that can be done?
You know that the Supreme Court on its own will not even travel that route. They know it. They know the truth. They know what is before Nigerians. It's about Nigeria. It's not about Atiku. You see, we need to understand this. It's about Nigeria. And that's why when I see people populate the pages on their pages on social media with these rantings that the university has authenticated that Bod Tv attended their university. It is not our business. We didn't send him to school. Neither did Atiku pay his school fees. All we are after is that he submitted a forged certificate to the Independent National Electoral Commission. The Supreme Court knows what it is. The Constitution is not, you see, what we are saying is not an offense against the Electoral Act. It's about the ground law, which is the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They know what it is. The Constitution is bigger than anybody, including the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They say he is president. He says he is president, but the deposition under oath from the court in the United States of America is clear enough because the university under oath has said clearly that they did not issue the certificate he sent to INEC. And what that means is that the university even went forward to say, look, we have a copy of his certificate, which is, and why do they keep copies? We asked them, do you have the copy of the one submitted to INEC? They said they don't keep photocopies of anyone's certificate. It's there in the transcripts. Now, the one you have in your file, which you gave under subpoena, when there was a subpoena, where did you get it from? They said the only reason a student's certificate will be in the file is when it is uncollected. Right, so the Bola Tinubu, who owns that document, has not collected it.
Of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar's request for the release of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's school records in the yet-to-be certified transcript obtained by our sister publication, This Day newspapers, Westberg told the court that the diploma, which is also called a certificate, that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu presented to INEC was not like the ones issued by the university in 1979, but however looked more like those produced in the 1990s. Well, in one breath, Westberg also claimed that CSU did not find any diploma issued by 1979 to Tinubu, but in another breath claimed that the school had in its file the diploma dated June 27, 1979, which was the copy released last year to Enahoro Eba under the order of a U.S. court. Well, let's go over some excerpt of the deposition transcript. Carl Westberg was responding to questions from Angela Liu, lawyer to Atiku Abubakar. The question from Angela goes, you have never seen a diploma that cut off the signature of Herbert Conley position like this? Answer, correct. Question, and CSU does not have a 1979 diploma that contains the font, CL signatories, and wording, apart from the INEC diploma. Westberg answered correct. Question, so CSU does not know of any diploma dated 1979 like the INEC diploma that has ever been issued? Answer, correct. Question, and CSU has no record of issuing this INEC diploma to President Tinubu in 1979. Westberg answered correct. Another question, and CSU did not issue a diploma dated June 27, 1979 to Tinubu in 1979. Westberg answered correct. Well, another transcript there. Angela asks, the diploma says it was granted on June 22nd, 1979. Westberg answered yes. Question, and CSU did not have a board of trustees in 1979, did it? Answer, true. Another question, so let's look at the signature on the INEC diploma on the right. It looks like one of the signatories from Elnora Daniel, correct? Answer, yes. Another question. And Elnora Daniel was not the chair or president of CSU in 1979. Correct? Answer, correct. Angela also asks, she was president in 1998 to 2008, correct? Well, Westberg answer, as far as I'm aware. Well, you know this has caused a lot of reactions, guys, because, you know, is it the word forgery or the certification? But let me take a tweet from David Houdini, who wrote, just got a hold of the written copy of yesterday's deposition. And yeah, Chicago State is in just as much trouble. Well, apart from confirming that the certificate submitted to INEC is a forgery, they also confirmed that they have no way of knowing that Bola A. Tinubu and Bola Ahmed Tinubu are in fact the same person. Well, Temitope Ajayi also in response, I believe he is the press secretary to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he wrote, we should be clear. In the deposition made by the Chicago State University, there was nowhere the university said the certificate presented to INEC by President Tinubu is fake. The university insisted on that oath that President Tinubu graduated with honors, and even at that, replacements for lost certificates are done by vendors, not the university. They claim that President Tinubu submitted fake certificate to INEC does not make sense. A man cannot forge the academic records he possesses. You can only forge what you don't have. All right, Rufai, a lot of discrepancies here.
Too much discrepancies.
Yeah, although I will state again, this is not a certified copy of the deposition, but I mean, it's transcribed as to what he was saying. That is Carl Westberg. But I want to also just talk about the fact that, you know, Chicago State University contacts vendors to get their certificates. I did go on Chicago State University and I looked at it as well. There's also a link that you can click to obtain your diploma from the school website. And the second thing I wanted to say about concerning that as well is the fact that they did have the certificate from Enahoro Eba that he requested. I believe that was last year. So what happened there? I don't get it.
So that's the conundrum.
Yes.
Yeah, I get vendors can print certificates and all of that, you know, the American system. But the question I also want to ask is, apart from printing a certificate, there should be some form of authentication.
Yes, that they can make.
So let's say you are an affiliate of Rufai Enterprises. At least there should be some form of authentication of Rufai Enterprises on what you print. That's one. Number two, why is it that there was one, they gave Enahoro Eba? Why didn't President Tinubu get that one to present?
That's the question.
But if CSU had one for him, why did he get that one to present? Why did he present the one that the CSU did not even present at all? I think a lot of people should read those raw facts of the deposition. They talked about that. That inquiry you read was, I think, was the first part of the deposition. So he did not know. The Carlsberg did not know that they were now going to bring up the Enahoro Eba exit. So when they brought it back to him, he was gobsmacked. It also showed the school did not even have a verification system to verify whatever the student had even presented hitherto. Because the school did not even know that Ahmed was the middle name of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So there was no way for them to be able to know. Concerning the template that was going around, that some people had gone to tell all sorts of porkies for, that the school gave it to them. The school said it was just a template they had released because they got a lot of inquiries, and that if you had even mailed the school, they would have given it to you. That's just it. So when people,
they would have given. So what is this vendor situation?
So
and who
that was that to whom it may concern.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about those certificates. I thought you meant the certificates.
So the vendor situation, and also they talked about the case of a certain Mr. Orr in all of this, you know, conversation that left the school after the education of something and all of that. And, you know, there were also other, even very sad things. And you wonder, this is the way an American university operates? You know?
Absolutely not.
And let's now go back to a particular document. Because, you see, with all of this new evidence, there was a deposition under oath Carlsberg made, where he said Bola Ahmed Tinubu graduated and was awarded a degree from University of June 1979. And they said that Chicago provided a diploma to him and they were valid and all of that. Now, this is suspect. In the first deposition I gave Angela Lu, the things he was already saying in this Henderson deposition was contradictory So if I, because, Oji, I not get work, well, I read that thing. I read it. I took out my time to read it because we need to be able to inform the public.
Absolutely.
You get? So,
Yeah.
So, and that's why all of this out there is in the realm, you know, people will take it up, whatever it is, they're going to make their assumptions and all of that. But for me, I'm just concerned about the facts of the matter and based on the position. Like you said, rightly, it's not certified yet. Probably when they, you know, certify it and all of that. And it's a document that's out there in public. Everybody should take out time to read it too. But based on some of the first depositions, it was already contradicting the things Carlsberg put in here.
All right. Ayo, I get the point that Dr. Abati always makes, which is the point of discovery. Can it be admissible in court? Yeah. But I don't think that that's what Nigerians are even worried about. They're worried about, they want to know, was that certificate actually from the Chicago State University, which we have seen in this uncertified transcript that, you know, the clerk there is saying, we're not sure we can authenticate this actual certificate. Yes. What's your take on that?
So when you read the deposition and that statement coming from the university, the first question that came to my mind was, okay, so the certificate that was presented to INEC, where did the president obtain it from? Because it didn't come from CSU, and CSU has stated this categorically. Now, in terms of whether it's law admitted, I asked a question earlier to Mr. Hassan, when he sat where you were sitting, about, and now this is based on personal morality and the fact that this is the highest seat in the office of, this is the highest office in the land.
Yes.
And the fact that should someone, whether the court sacks him or not, if we are aware that a principal officer such as that forged or didn't present a certificate from the institution where he said he graduated from, should he not honorably, even without the interventions of the court, step aside? As is done in other sane societies. Right. It's a matter of, and you know, Mr. Kalu was here, he cited the example of Mesoma. When ordinary young Nigerians like Mesoma are said to have forged a result or forged a certificate, all their benefits are withdrawn from them. It's a national disgrace. It's a national, they didn't need to go to court for JAM to come out and for all the sponsors to come out and take away her benefits. It's the same thing that Nigerians are clamoring for. It's beyond, and I said it before and I still maintain it, it's beyond, yes, law is not morality, but even if the courts cannot admit the evidence, whether it is they call it a wild goose chase or not, it is not just a national embarrassment if this is found, you know, in terms of the evidence before us as to CSU saying they didn't issue the certificate or the diploma. If the president is not able to share where he got that particular diploma from, if they are not able to balance the discrepancies on the dates, the logo, the signature, the different things that the registrar had alluded to, then Nigerians deserve an answer, and we deserve a credible leader who is honorable, if found culpable, to exit that position.
This is Bod TV Bod. In case the first time you come here, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more uploads.